Israel. Officials in Gaza say more than 1,300 Palestinians have been killed since Israel began its action more than 3 weeks ago. Nearly 60 Israelis, most of them soldiers, have been killed. The owner of British Gas, Centrica, is blaming the mild weather for a fall in profits. The company made an operating profit of just over £1 billion last year, a fall of 35%. It said it expected average bills would be down by £90 this year. The Defence Secretary Michael Fallon has welcomed a report warning that NATO is poorly prepared for a future attack from Russia. The Commons Defence Committee says Russia's actions in Ukraine should act as a warning. It calls for dramatic improvements to rapid reaction forces and regular large-scale exercises involving all NATO countries. Mr Fallon said the British government had already acted.
We are committing now to longer-term, large-scale exercises. We want other countries through NATO to participate as well. We're also looking at pre-positioning equipment on the eastern border, and we're looking at more that can be done in terms of deterrence. I mean, this is a very important report. Right now, NATO, as it pulls back from Afghanistan, should look to see what more it can do to deal with these very immediate threats.
Sierra Leone has declared a public health emergency to tackle the outbreak of Ebola, which has led to the deaths of nearly 700 people in West Africa. The security forces will be called in to quarantine the epicenters of the virus. Liberia announced similar measures yesterday. Gatwick Airport is warning that some passengers may have to wait longer than an hour at busy periods to reclaim their luggage. The airport has faced complaints after delays caused by one of its baggage handlers, Swissport. BBC News.
In an hour here on Radio 4, Tim Hewell meets the dynamic young women in Turkish Kurdistan who are defining the future of their society. But first, time for Woman's Hour with Jenny Murray.
Good morning. Queen Anne came to the throne in 1702 and ruled until her death in 1714 as the last of the Stuarts. Why is she so overlooked by history? H is for hawk, how a daughter, grieving for her father, turned for solace to a goshawk called Mabel. The parent of a disabled teenager, how does a lone mother cope with Asperger's syndrome in a 16-year-old? And Zoo Nation does the Wizard of Oz street dance at London's South Bank Centre. Now, most pregnant women will suffer from some morning sickness in the first 3 months. For some, it's a horrible condition that goes on and on. Remember the Duchess of Cambridge, who was so dehydrated by her sickness, she had to be taken to hospital around her 12th week. But is it possible that your suffering is good for the fetus? A study carried out by researchers in Toronto has found women who are sick or nauseous have fewer miscarriages and give birth to healthier and more intelligent babies. How can that be possible? Well, Dr. Dagny Rajasingham is a consultant obstetrician at Guy's and Thomas Hospital in London. Dr. Gideon Coran is a paediatrician in Toronto, led the study and joins us on the phone from there. Gideon, what was the evidence on miscarriage?
What we did, Jenny, we combined everything that was published on this. Quite a few studies in different countries, from Sweden to England to Canada, United States. It goes on and on. Hungary.